What would you do if the God of death told you to take away someone's last bit of hope? One messenger said no, and it changed everything. Stick with me, because this story will grab you right away and make you think about life in a new way. A long time ago, the God of death sent a messenger to Earth. His job was easy: take the soul of a farmer who had just died in his field. The messenger came down, making the air feel cold, ready to do it. But when he got there, what he saw made him stop. There in the rain was the farmer, dead, his hands wrapped around the last plant he tried to grow. His fields were empty, wrecked by no rain and big storms. That one little plant was all he had left, his only chance to feed his village, a small group of houses almost out of food. He had no family, no one strong enough to help, just him and his small hope, gone. The messenger felt bad. Even though he was from heaven, he had a heart. He couldn't do it. He couldn't take the farmer's soul and let the village die too. So with a shaky breath, he went back to heaven without the soul. When he faced the God of death, he begged. "Forgive me," he said, his voice shaky. "I couldn't take his soul. You don't get it. There's a village down there with no food, holding on to that farmer's last plan. If I take him, they'll all die. Can't we let him live a little longer, just until they're okay?" But the God of death didn't care. He shouted, "Yet you think you're smarter than me? You're questioning the one who controls life and death? You've done something wrong, messenger. Now you'll be punished. Go back to Earth," he said. "Stay there until you realize your mistake 3 times. Then you can come back." The messenger nodded, taking his punishment, but inside he didn't feel bad. Realize his mistake? How could he, when he thought he did the right thing? So there he was, stuck on Earth, wet and shaking by a muddy road. Close by, a blacksmith was walking to town with some money in his pocket. He'd saved it to buy coal for his fire. Winter was near, and his family needed heat. But when he saw this stranger, wet, alone, and helpless, he stopped. "Come with me," the blacksmith said, smiling. "My wife will be mad when she finds out I spent the coal money on you, but she'll get over it." And when they got home, she got really angry. "You gave away our heat for him," she yelled, banging a pot on the table. "What about our kids?" And then the messenger realized something for the first time. "Why do you look like that?" the blacksmith asked, puzzled. "I'll tell you after I realize it 3 times, the messenger said, his eyes shining. He realized the wife didn't know who was in her house, a heavenly being. Soon, good things would come. Money, comfort, a better life she couldn't see yet. And then he understood. People only see what's happening now, just like he did with the farmer. Days passed, and the messenger learned how to work with metal. Since he was from heaven, he got really good at it. The tools he made were amazing. People started talking about them, and soon the blacksmith's shop was full of money. One day, a guard from the king's palace came with a shiny piece of gold. "Make a crown for the king," he said. "A crown for his big day. Nothing else. This gold is special, so don't mess it up." But the messenger, for some reason, he made a funeral wreath instead of a crown. When the blacksmith saw it, he got mad. "You've ruined us," he shouted. "I said a crown, not a wreath. The king will kill us." And right then, the messenger realized something again. His second time. Just as the blacksmith was yelling, the guard rushed back. "Stop! Don't make a crown. Make a wreath. The king, he's dead." The blacksmith froze, shocked. The messenger smiled. Somehow he knew. That second realization, it came from understanding that people worry about plans, not knowing what's next. Life does what it wants, no matter what we think. A few days later, a merchant came to the blacksmith's village with lots of grain, enough to feed everyone all winter. The messenger watched and asked, "Where did this come from?" The merchant smiled. "A farmer up north," he said. "His fields were almost gone, but he kept one plant alive. After he died, his neighbors worked together, picked it, and sent it here to sell. It saved us." And there it was, his third realization. The farmer he didn't take, His village didn't fall apart. Life found a way, and he didn't see it coming. He turned to the blacksmith. "I was wrong," he said. "Life is bigger than us. I've realized my mistake 3 times. My punishment is done." With that, he went back to heaven, smarter than before. So what's the point? Life is tricky, and we can't figure it all out. We think heaven is some faraway happy place, and hell is a faraway bad place, somewhere we go later after we're judged. But really, aren't they here every day? Every day feels like a judgment day. One person wakes up happy, laughing, eating good food, starting fresh, while someone else wakes up sad, no job, no hope, feeling alone. Like the messenger worrying about that farmer, we focus on what's going wrong, losing work, plans falling apart, asking, why me? But just like that village got grain, our tough times might lead to something good. Strength we didn't know we had, a chance we didn't see coming. Heaven and hell aren't far away. They're here in every day, in every choice. Trust life. That's what this story says. So, what about you? Would you have taken the farmer's soul or said no to the God of death like the messenger? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. And if you like this story, hit the like button and subscribe for more stories that make you feel something.